And a good day to all my weather news friends with J7409, the name you know, the news you can use, on Friday, the 26th of October, 2018. What have we got going on? Well, over here in Nevada and California, this is Fire Watch, watching out for fires to start if we're not under a fire warning yet. Like usually, red flag warnings are not up yet, but there is a watch area in Nevada and California. Now when we move over to Wyoming, this is high winds, and we'll get on to them in a little bit later. Also over here in North Dakota, this is a fog advisory for this morning. Very foggy up in North Dakota this morning, and it will remain that way and burn off later in the day. And in South Dakota, this is an advisory to watch out for fog. All along, just like I had a suspicion of, you probably heard me say in some of my videos, if you follow me each day, I thought that this nor'easter coming up, this storm coming up from the remnants of Willow, was going to affect down in this area of Delaware and New Jersey, and especially around Long Island, New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts, all you guys up in here. I specifically picked out Long Island, as a matter of fact. You guys are going to have a greater threat as you move north of what could be going on. Now, this is just the watches and warnings for today, but let's go a little further and see what is happening. Now, from the National Weather Service in Mount Holly, New Jersey, all of you people in these areas here, you are under a wind advisory. It will remain in effect from 2 a.m. to noon tomorrow. Starting tomorrow, from 2 a.m. to noon tomorrow, the wind should be out of the east, 20 to 30, with gusts up to 50. And the timing is from late tonight through tomorrow morning. Impact: strong winds may blow down limbs, trees, and power lines. Scattered power outages are also expected. So this is a wind advisory. You are going to get a little windy up in these areas. Very windy conditions are expected in these portions and areas with the winds this strong, and it can make driving difficult, as we know, especially for small trucks or big trucks, high profile vehicles. Use extra caution, okay? Lightweight outdoor objects such as patio furniture and garage cans and garbage cans and all of that stuff should be secured, okay? So, bring your stuff in if you have anything out, and don't let it get blown away or cause any damage. Also, for the same areas of New Jersey, Delaware, the National Weather Service in Mount Holly has already issued a coastal flood watch. Now, this is in effect from Saturday morning through Saturday afternoon. In other words, all day Saturday, okay? Locations: Kent, Sussex counties, and Delaware. Now, high tide on the ocean front is between 9 and 10 a.m. Saturday morning, and high tide will occur later on the Back Bay area side. Now, coastal flood impacts: 1 to 2 feet of saltwater inundation above ground level is possible in low-lying areas near the shorelines and tidal waterways. Widespread flooding of roadways is expected, with many roads becoming impassable. Lives may be at risk when people put themselves in harm's way. Some damage to vulnerable structures may occur, and waves should be around 7 to 10 feet on the ocean front. So a coastal flood watch, of course, means that conditions are favorable for flooding and are expected to develop. So it's looking like you guys are probably going to have this flooding going on. So go ahead and prepare to begin taking appropriate action to protect life and property, and follow the recommendations of local emergency management officials. Now, as we move more northerly, you can see the areas up in here, and it includes Sandy Hook, New Jersey, to Fire Island Inlet, New York, out 20 nautical miles. Storm warning in effect from 2 a.m. to 4 p.m. tomorrow. The National Weather Service in Upton has issued a storm warning, which is in effect from 2 a.m. to 4 p.m. Saturday. The storm watch is no longer in effect. It's changed to a warning. Winds and seas. These winds 25 to 35 knots with gusts up to 50, seas 8 to 13 feet. And this storm warning means sustained winds or frequent gusts of 48 to 63 knots. That's getting a little heavy there, folks, are expected or occurring. Now, recreational boaters should remain in port or take shelter until winds and waves subside. And for all of you commercial vessels, you should prepare for very strong winds and dangerous sea conditions, and consider remaining in port or taking shelter in port until the winds and waves subside. Now, when it comes to the storm coming up, it's going to go up into Maine, but Maine, you should really start to feel whatever you're going to get from this storm later Saturday night and Sunday. This is what's happening today. They've already put up these watches and warnings, and they go from up here to Boston, Massachusetts, up in this area down till we get to right around in here, New York City and the surrounding areas. And this, of course, is for New Jersey, Delaware, and southern Pennsylvania, the first part of the watches and warnings that I just showed you. So everyone be prepared. Go ahead, get right today. This stuff's coming your way. It should start to develop at my house around 8 a.m. this morning and last for a good at least 12 hours. So you guys be safe. And this is what it's looking like this morning. Now we need to check out our general forecast for the entire United States. But before we get to that, if it's your first time over to Weather News with J7409, or if you'd like to keep up with the weather and know what's happening around the U.S., please subscribe, click the bell, check out the email notifications to make sure you get all the latest in weather news, forecast, watches, warnings, and any storms that are developing that may have something to do with any of us here in the U.S. to bring us severe weather. I certainly would appreciate it, and thank you a lot. For everyone who thought this system was going to bring a lot of snow up north, I don't think that's going to happen. Everything I've gone over and looked at this morning, yeah, you may get a little bit of snow here and there, but I think you're going to get a lot of freezing rain, maybe some sleet. I think rain is going to be the biggest thing when it comes to this storm. This is a GFS map, courtesy of Tropical Tidbits. Let's turn her on. I'll tell you all about it. Now, this developing area, low pressure along the Gulf Coast, is going to track up the East Coast today and tomorrow. Heavy rainfall will accompany this low, spreading from the Ohio Valley and southeast northward into the mid-Atlantic and eventually New England by tomorrow. Now, the rain is expected to be the predominant precipitation type with this storm. However, though, you could have some mixed precipitation across upstate New York to northern New England with accumulating snow and ice possible, especially in the higher terrain. Now, rain may also change over to snow or rain-snow mix farther south into portions of the central Appalachians as cold air deepens on the backside of the storm. In addition to the heavy rain, gusty winds, coastal flooding, and isolated severe thunderstorms in the coastal Carolinas will also be a concern as this storm moves through. And today, of course, we are getting what I just said. Now, the upper Midwest and Great Lakes region will continue to see periods of rain as a nearly stationary frontal boundary remains draped across the upper lakes region for today, and a low pressure system moves in from the west tomorrow. Now, out west, a series of frontal systems will allow for precipitation in the Pacific Northwest, with heavier amounts possible, particularly along the favored higher terrain. Temperature-wise, well, the quick-moving low-pressure system in the east will keep temperatures kind of cool for this time of the year, with afternoon highs as much as 10 to 20 degrees below normal. possible. That's possible now. And much of the western U.S. will remain warm and dry, which will continue to elevate the fire concerns across Southern California. Like I showed you on the watch and warning map, this is a fire advisory. They're keeping their eyes open because wildfires can pop up anywhere out there at any time. And here we have disturbance number 1. Yeah, it's got a big old 90% chance out of there of doing something, but it's about 1,000 miles east northeast of the Leeward Islands this morning, and it's probably going to become a tropical or subtropical cyclone later today. However, though, it should turn westward well to the north or maybe a little to the northeast of the Lesser Antilles next week. And yes, it probably will develop. I've been following this storm for a while, few days now, checking on things. But I think as it moves up this way, we're going to have a low come off from Canada down and around, and I think it may get pulled up and out. However, it may try to do like the other storm did, kind of circle around, then get pulled up and out. I will keep my eyes on it, though, because, we still have another whole month of hurricane season to go through. But hopefully, this is not going to harm or bother anyone in any way. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I appreciate it a whole lot. Thank you for your donations. Thank you for just watching my videos. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you for everything you do for me. I appreciate it so very much. And please subscribe and tell your friends and family to subscribe to keep up with what's going on around them when it comes to the weather. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for everything you do for me. I love you. Hope you have a good day, a safe day, a blessed day, and peace, love, and kindness to each of you. Thank you for watching.